All right, let's take a look at what Tacitus said about Jesus. But first, who was Tacitus? Tacitus is widely regarded as one of the greatest Roman historians by modern scholars. He lived in the late 1st and early 2nd century, and he recorded the events of the 1st century when Jesus was supposed to live. And out of his many thousands of words and many books written about the 1st century, he only makes one brief mention that can be associated with Jesus. So let's see what he said in his book, the Annals, Book 15, Chapter 44, written about 116 CE, about 86 years after Jesus was supposedly crucified. But all the human efforts, all the lavish gifts of the emperor, and the propitiation of the gods did not banish the sinister belief that the conflagration was the result of an order. Consequently, to get rid of the report, Nero fastened the guilt and inflicted the most exquisite tortures on a class hated for their abominations called Christians by the populace. Christus, from whom the name had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilatus. And a most mischievous superstition, thus checked for the moment, again broke out not only in Judea, the first source of the evil, but even in Rome. Now this is obviously meant to be a reference to Jesus, even though Tacitus messed up his name. Christus is not a name. The Romans would not have recorded that they executed a man named Christus. Tacitus is most likely saying that there was a movement of people who called themselves Christians who were claiming that Pilate executed their Christ. So in summary, Tacitus said Christians were hated for their abominations. He didn't even mention the name of Jesus, but only the title associated with the movement. There's a completely separate debate as to why Tacitus called Pilate a procurator instead of a prefect. And Tacitus said Christianity was based on a most mischievous superstition, indicating that there was no evidence that Jesus performed any miracles or was resurrected from the dead. And immediately after this quote, Tacitus explains that Christians were persecuted for their hatred against mankind. So Tacitus is not your friend if you're looking for 1st century historical support for the biblical Jesus. Tacitus didn't even know the name of Jesus, and he certainly didn't attribute any miraculous events to him.